So here I've got a size 14, 3x wide, 2x short, curved shank, 2x heavy forged hook. Wow, that's a lot. Basically what's that saying is this is a short and stubby hook that's heavy, and that's perfect for doing what we want today. So I'm going to get my bead head here, and I'm going to put the small side on first around the point of the hook, and I am just going to fish it up to the eye, pun intended. So now that I got my bead head set on there, I'm going to go ahead and lock it into the vise. I'm going to start my thread wrap here. I'm using 6/0 red thread, so I don't want to use a super fine thread that I'm going to be worried about breaking because I'm tying on wire and things, and sometimes it's easier if you can get away with it just to use a thicker thread. Makes your life a whole lot easier. So got my thread wrap there, got my tag end, just going to pop it back to break it and seat the thread on the hook, and I'm going to continue my thread wrap down into that bend, probably about 1/3 of the way into the bend right there, and then I'm going to bring my thread back up to just a little bit behind that bead head. So now I'm going to grab some gold ultra wire here, and I'm going to start laying it in on top of the shank of that hook, and I'm going to run it all the way back to the end of that thread wrap. So locked it in, cinched it up, and I'm just going to work it back. So there we go. I'm at the end of my thread wrap. I'm going to work my thread forward again, and I'm going to build up a little bit of taper towards that bead head. Make sure I have that wire nice and covered. Get a nice build up there. That's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to come back in behind that bead head, and I'm going to start to build up that section too, because this is where we're going to tie off our wire, and I don't want the thread to just take a dive while I'm doing that. So that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to come in with wire, and I'm going to counter wrap the wire back up the hook, and I'm not going to space it too tightly here. I'm going to leave some room there. You know, we're not tying a copper john, so we don't need this wire stacked super tight into itself. Just enough. You want that red to really peek through, and you just want the gold to be a little bit of flash here. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and hold tension on it while I've got it there. Secure it in. Thread's a little long on the bobbin. I'm going to choke up on it a little bit and get it where it needs to be. So right about there. And we're going to lay in our thread wraps. Secure that wire. Once you have enough wraps on there to adequately secure it, then you're just going to come in and you're going to twist, helicopter twist, that ultra wire till it breaks. And I'm going to whip finish here right behind that bead head. And before we do that, we're just going to make sure the bead head is positioned how we want. Yes, I've whipped finish before, can you tell? Good wraps. Tight enough to seat that knot, not tight enough to break your thread. Now I'm just going to come in and pop that thread. So the tying's complete on here, and the only step to do now is just lock in that thread. So I'm coming in with some clear nail polish, put some on the whip finish thread wrap there, and you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just run a little bit all down the top of that fly. Really lock in those threads. Just like that. So there is a size 14 Zebra Midge in red and gold. Like I was talking about before, different color variations on this. My other favorite color variation is to see black with silver. So if I was going to do a black and silver one, I would have used a silver bead head and silver ultra wire with black thread. That works pretty well. I have seen them before too, where someone will put in a little bit of flash wing case up here on the top. I don't know that that's strictly necessary. I think you can get away with it just like this. I mean, why complicate a simple fly that's easy to tie? So this will do pretty well. I'm just going to give it a quick dry. Just like that. So thanks for watching today. You know what I didn't talk about here was how to fish this fly. And this one's just, I think, an entirely dead drift, and then maybe when it rises on the swing. I don't think I would try to monkey with this fly too much in the water. I would just dead drift it and then cast upstream again, dead drift it until it either works or it doesn't, and you switch to something else. So this is Mountain Boy. I'll see you next time on Fly of the Week.